There we go. Okay.
You guys see recording now?
Yeah.
Yes. It's there. It's all there.
Yeah. Alright, where's my clock? Timer starting now. And
Hold on. Chat opens.
chat's open. What's this, episode 73?
75.
5. Alright. Everybody good? Good? Thumbs up if you good. Thumbs up if you good. Thumbs up if you good. Alright, here we go. Welcome to episode 75 of For the Culture podcast, soccer podcast for us, by us. We're talking about soccer and black culture. Okay, you got your favorite hosts here. You got Ringo, you got Grego, you got the Mayor Rashad, you got Coach Tony, you got TK on the ones and twos. Man, gentlemen, what's going on? It's a new week. It's another week of quarantine week 5. How's that? What's poppin', man?
It's good to see y'all's haircuts are all good. I mean, after all these weeks, all of us look good with these haircuts.
Look at that blade.
I was actually, I felt jealous of people who need haircuts. Like, I was just gonna grow my shit back out. Like,
Part of me was thinking that we should have done a competition about it.
Yeah, who can get the most hair again?
That fight. We don't need that one. No. Good.
God, that would have been ugly. We would have definitely lost listeners after that.
Like, ugh, what is this? Man, how's your week been going? How's quarantine holding up for you guys?
I had enough time to decorate, my space because this last week y'all was talking about me, so I added, the map of the good old A. Just to let y'all know, I was up here. Now I'm about like right here.
Right, I see you down right?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, man. So you're saying like you in Game of Thrones terms, you used to be a wildling, but now you're a Winterfell. A little bit further. Are you at the
When I was up here, y'all was talking about back up here, but now like I said, I'm up here. I'm back inside the perimeter, so I'm like, hey, we good now.
It's good, man. How's life in the city now, man? Got a lot of bitches now.
Sit and drink.
Say this, because there are some people who are violating, they're not staying at home.
Yeah.
Don't stay at home.
I'm just joking. That was all jokes. This is a family show.
Right.
Rashad, man, how you been, man?
Been living, man. Been feeling good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I see you posted up in the bins right now, man.
Yeah, man. So we posted in the bins. We got we have the actual. This is our second time doing a video. So if you're listening to us on audio version, we actually have this uploaded on YouTube. So you get to see us in color. You know what I'm saying? We're real people, So yeah, I'm posted in the bins. Got my United shirt on, Goal! Right above my head, you know what I'm saying? But
practicing social distancing, man. There's a lot of people up
hey, man, I'm in. Hey, me and 70,000, we about to fuck it up, bro. Right here,
y'all just nasty, dirty, just petri dishes walking around.
DK, what's going on, man? New week. We still on baby watch? All right. We'll come back to TK. All right. So, guys, man, I want to ask you guys a question, man. Have you guys seen the video of the high school students that it's a TikTok challenge where like basically it's supposed to be God making things? Like the original ones are like God making. How does God make a light skinned woman? And then like what they do is they'll pour they'll say like black, like a little cup of water. Then they'll say attitudes, a little more water. Then like giant, like big forehead, and it's like pour a whole gallon of water in there. So it's like cute. Those were cute. But of course, this wouldn't be the Culture Podcast if we didn't bring up racism alert. So some Georgia high school students,
Carrollton.
18, Carrollton. Anybody in Georgia understands. So they decided to do one and say, how do you make a black person? But of course they didn't say black person. They wanted to say nigga with the ER.
ER.
So So they wanted to say, so they did that. So they started off, they were like, all right, dark skin. I was like, all right, cool. Maybe it's not going to be racist. Whoa, they hit me with the next one. They was like, don't have a dad. Then they were like, loves chicken and watermelon.
Like who doesn't love chicken and watermelon?
Stereotype is always
Everybody.
I'm like, if you don't like fried chicken, something wrong with you.
I can't remember the last one.
Goes to jail.
Goes to jail. That's it. And then they just dumped a whole gallon of water in there. So what makes it worse? It wasn't the video. It was the apology that made it worse. It was like the most haphazard apology. And like what was so sad was that her dream school was West Georgia. That's what made it fucking worse.
And I'll tell you like this, to get out there, I'm like, you go through Georgia. I'm like,
Yeah.
And there's nothing out there once you get out there. So it's like, why would you want to go there? The education must be outstanding because I'm like, I don't get it.
So Howard, man, how do you feel about it? Because you have to do the dissertation about it. Me, I find it funny that like you still have like people teaching their kids racism. I mean, these kids are born in the 2000s, and they still making black jokes, chicken and watermelon jokes at that.
Have you been to West Georgia / Carrollton?
No. Why? Why would I go there?
Are you seeing Ozarks?
Got you. Yes.
The trailer, that town and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Carrollton, basically.
Got you.
So it's cut off. You know what I mean? It's the town you drive when you're on the way to Alabama, which also tells you the only reason why you go by it, because it's 20 West. Like, they have the whole ad campaign. Go West. UWG is now whatever. I mean, I'm not surprised because, again, like I said, they're still cut off. Like, they operate in their own social network. Obviously, light years behind. Again, like you said, the apology. It's not a real apology. She's just realizing that her future is effed up now. Oh, snap. She's like, might not be able to get into college. I might not be able to get into college now.
You go.
Now, here's the thing. That's the definition of an N-word.
Yeah.
That is a definition one.
Yeah. It was funny is like she posted like on her like IG story thing like black people have ruined my life. You guys are the problem. So she doubled down after she apologized. I was like, oh, she ain't learned. She
even got celebrities hopping in the DMs.
Yeah, so any listeners, if you stop by the Burger King in Carrollton, she'll probably be a manager there in a couple of years. So tell her what's up, man.
Lettuce.
Hey, do the coupon code. I think it's 7118. You got you.
But guys, we actually have soccer news, man. We got soccer news finally.
You don't have to stretch the show today.
Yeah, man. We actually got content.
No, she's never gonna move past the lettuce. She ain't never moving the fries. The big bucks ain't never rolling in for her. She gonna
be flipping the patties. She gonna be charbroil on the patties. That's it.
She gonna be mopping the floors like a king.
Just press Hakeem on that.
See, what's gonna happen? She gonna have a black guy. She gonna be 20 years old, pregnant by a black guy.
And you know he's gonna be messed up because she want a black boyfriend. Like, oh, it's okay to say that word.
Yeah.
All them brothers.
Yeah, they be the ones.
Best shit ever.
They be the ones. Man, what y'all want to jump into, man? Y'all want to keep talking pop culture, then go to sports?
Actually, yeah. Before we go into that, I have to give a shout out to Teddy Riley and Babyface. First time didn't quite go so well. But on Monday, they actually, they got it done. It's so much so that Rashad was telling me, like, yo, they crashed Instagram. Like, I didn't realize it got that big.
They had about 500,000 people watching the live.
At one time.
Yeah.
And I think over the duration, there was over about 4.5 million people.
That's crazy. It's gonna like these little versus battles that are on IG is gonna change like concert series and stuff because people are gonna want to be able to see, especially like these like highlight acts. battle with each other, or at least battle their repertoire and history. So that's gonna be fun. Like be able to see like T-Pain versus like Lil Wayne, like on tour.
When I saw the bits and pieces of it, I felt like it was one of my uncles who was putting the show on.
Oh, 100%.
Especially on Saturday, that shit was. I was like,
yo, can y'all hear? Wait, can y'all hear me? Is this? Wait.
Hold on. Hey, man, listen, man. We gotta fix the audio, man. I don't want them knowing the audio's bad. I think we back. Oh, they heard that.
Wait, what? Settings. Go to the settings. They should be up in this corner.
Yeah.
Do I have to invite him, or is he inviting me?
Hey,
we're going to his room? Hey, guys, we're going to his room.
But the consensus was, man, like Babyface watched Teddy Riley, man. Babyface was more prepared for the battle, right?
all you had to do was explain his play. Said, there you go.
But here's the thing about it, like, you're talking about R&B battle, like true R&B battle, and it's like,
it's not the same. Like, you gotta be in the mood for that. They gotta be like a Friday night. You got your quarantine Ronnie there with you, just like, hey, we can go and get this thing.
Oh, did you guys watch it? They played hip hop tracks too.
they did, but no, I need some Rim talking about some stripper. I'm falling in love with stripper, bartender. I need to be some bowls being thrown. I need
Man, you're so Atlanta, man.
Right.
I ain't mad at that.
Going down. That's me.
Hey, man, you're not getting that from Babyface, man.
I want to see. So the one battle I do want to see, it ain't never gonna happen. Is I want to see Diddy versus Dre. Like that's the battle I want to see. Like iconic producers of our lifetime that have made
another Civil War, East Side versus West Side.
Listen, that's what I want. I want the smoke. That's what I want. Because between me and y'all and our listeners and viewers, man, Diddy would smoke Dre.
Yo, and then you might have like artists choose beside him. Drake might figure out if it's East Side or West Side.
That's both sides, man.
That's what we need, man.
Yeah, you both.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Well, hopefully it happens. They're so big, man. That probably had to be on pay-per-view. Couldn't be on IG Live.
Because I think this weekend is supposed to be like Dallas, Austin, and is it JD or Lil Jon?
JD.
I thought it was JD.
No, I thought it was Lil Jon. He was battling Lil Jon. Maybe he's battling both. Maybe it's a triple threat match.
It's supposed to be a battle of like who wrote like the songs they wrote, like a songwriter battle.
Got you.
Yeah.
Ladder match.
Tonight,
What about like
Hey, over under how many Bow Wow songs we might hear?
on the JD one?
Yeah.
6. Because Bow Wow had hits. A lot of people sleep on Bow Wow. Bow Wow had hits.
So over under what number? 3.
6 plus.
You think he's gonna play 6 Bow Wow songs?
6 Bow Wow tracks.
Tony Sweet.
Listen, right? Hey, we can do it on the For the Culture Live on IG Live. I can go ahead and do a Bow Wow set, and you'll be like, yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was fire too. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Damn, that was a good one too.
we recording? My bad. I fell asleep. My bad. You talking about my soccer yet?
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get into soccer, man.
Yo. So, are we gonna have a season or what? Because like, here's the crazy thing is that like this past week they were talking about MLS. It's like saying, hey, we want the players to take a 50% cut and say, you already got half of your pay. Whenever we come back, y'all on the free ski, y'all on the like, hey, on the low, on the 0.99, nothing, just
$3.99.
Go out there and do your job.
Joe.
No, but I don't know what do y'all think about the league coming back? What's your thoughts? They say July.
No, they said June 8th now.
A Elaborate, Tony. This is an audio podcast.
My bad. That was funny. That was a good joke. Y'all just told their thing started back early June. It's not happening. I mean, it's too soon. The logistical nightmare of let's say you start out with games behind closed doors. We talked about that before, but like the logistics of that. I think it was one of the reports that came out from Europe is that you're definitely going to have 200 to 300 people involved. That whether it be security who's running at the stadium, the health personnel there, all the trainers, all the coaches, obviously players and subs, and then there's just so many people that are involved behind the scenes that we don't account for usually. Again, because a lot of people just count players and coaches and maybe trainers, but it's more than that goes into a game. So if you talk about all those personnel, so each game you're going to test those people. And let's talk about that logistical nightmare. So I don't see that shit happen. I don't see it happening. We are not prepared for that.
It's almost what?
Ready. George is ready.
That's a month. That's a month, basically.
Give it. We gotta open back up, man.
Dude, we didn't talk about our dumbass governor. Excuse me. Our governor. Saying that it's okay to get your nails on your head and go bowling or go to the movies this Friday.
I'm an extra shine on this head up here.
Hey, no, he's not saying it's okay for you to go. He said it's okay for those businesses to open back up. So, let's be real. Everyone keeps saying the governor's a dumbass. Anybody the country's not ready. Country's not going to be ready for 18 and 24 months from now. So y'all recommend we just stay closed for 18, 24 months? It's impossible. Impossible for you to run a capitalistic society for you to be closed for 2 years. So what you do is you open up. You give these small businesses a chance. Tony, pretty sure you have family members that have small businesses, right?
They own college buildings, man. What you talking about, man?
Right. I'll probably go to someone else who family doesn't have has small business. So it's like they need to make money as well. So they have to open back up. So as long as people take precautions, they wear their PPE, it's okay to start slowly opening the government.
You see what China's doing? I mean, they just now.
Yeah. China was closed. China was closed for 4 months.
How long they been doing this shit?
Since the end of December, early January. So it's June.
Early December.
But you got to remember, per capita, they have way more people than we have in the United States.
True.
So,
but we have not taken an aggressive lockdown that they have done in certain areas. Have it at all.
You can't. It's at this point.
You can't choose between life and death. That's the thing about it.
No, you're not choosing. You act like anybody's gonna fucking die when they get it. It's people who have weak immune systems are gonna die. So those with weak immune systems, y'all just can't go out.
Wow. So you're saying that people who have died in situations that not weak immune systems. I mean,
what other situations have they not died? What are you talking about? COVID? All the cases that have died of COVID have weak immune systems.
No,
it wasn't just you healthy today, Tony, and then you die tomorrow because you got it.
Healthy young people that died out.
Show me the stats.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Show me the stats. Show me the stats.
But
go ahead. About the leagues.
Of course, I definitely think that I think this season will watch as far as us going to games. That part's a definite. Beyond that, I think the way that we're progressing, July still seems possible. But
you said there's a chance for us to get a fall spring schedule.
I mean, they already admitted in their most recent statement that a December MLS Cup seems likely, and possibly even January. And I'm like, if you're going to go to January, you might as well go ahead and just put it on the table and say, hey, we might have to consider fall spring. Now, whether or not they actually do it, they probably don't want to, but I mean, I know they're not in the position where they can just say, we can't play this season at all. They're going to have to play something, just a matter of how much.
Yeah, it's just MLS. I mean, any league's really not in a financial standpoint where they can just say, we're just going to scrap this whole season.
And that's the crazy thing is because I was talking about that with some I think it might have been in the group chat last week. Once sports get the green light to start back up, you think about all the sports that are be trying to fight for everyone's attention, whether it's MLB, NBA, NHL. If it's close to the fall, NFL is obviously going to be there, and MLS is going to be in a position where, like, okay, like everyone else is playing, but we're not playing until February. They'd be like, hell no, we can't do that. Like, so they're going to have to figure something out to where that they get going, at least get some kind of season going this season. If it happens to go into next year, go ahead and do it. Like, don't worry. Like the TV deals, it's only 6 months. I mean, like that shit can work itself out. Just you got to get in there. So much.
But the messed up part is, we were talking about this before we were recording, is that the players haven't even signed the CBA yet. So now what does that mean? Now the owners have leverage. Now they're like, hey, we can just scrap the whole season and y'all make nothing. Or you guys come up on some of those concessions that you guys had. It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, I could definitely see where, the owners have some type of leverage, but at the same time, they need games too. So, I think they need to come off the idea of 50%. Like now, if you start talking about like 70-80%, then, we could probably have that conversation because keep in mind that I think in the next couple of weeks, like players will already receive half of their pay for the year anyway. So like I was saying before, whenever they start, you be basically telling them they're all going to play for free, regardless of injuries, regardless of travel, saying, hey, you're just doing this on the humble. And I don't see that shit fine at all. Like that's a hell no.
Yeah, but it's a great thing for I mean, unfortunately, it's a great thing for MLS and for any sports league that if something like this was to happen in the future when it comes to contractual negotiations for a collective bargaining agreement for a league and its players, something like this, thinking long term as far as protecting the force that you have in your players, they're going to have to think about that now going forward with every other agreement. If there's league shutdowns, if there's other epidemics, pandemics, or whatnot, anything to stop play, we have to protect ourselves. So it's unfortunate, but I think it's necessary. You gotta think bigger now.
And that's the thing about with them not having signed the CBA, like they might need to go back into negotiation and say like, hey, let's account for these type of situations that's going on now going forward, so that way we're good to go. Because like I remember reading a couple weeks ago, Wimbledon, they were investing like $2 million a year for like the last like 15, 16 years, and they had to go ahead and cancel Wimbledon this year, and they they cashed in like $141 million off of basically a $30 million investment. And I'm like, a lot of leagues and franchises need to account for that, so that way they're not left in the hole if this ever happens again.
The situation works out for the most?
Who?
Joseph Martinez. I mean, like, rehab, looking good, not losing a single game.
You know what? Because I did see like in one of the MLS groups, they were asking like what team benefits most from all this, and it's definitely the home team because we were all banged up with that last game against Club America, and like everyone like I said, Stephen Joseph's healthy now, so if we can get some games in, even without Joseph, we would look pretty damn good.
And it gives Frank DeBoer another transfer window. he fumbled the bag on the last one.
Like, are we gonna sign somebody? Like, seriously.
That's the thing though, because like with the new CBA, that would have allowed them, I think, this summer to do a lot more spending than what they were. With all the uncertainty that was going on in January, like you really wish like what you could do and what you couldn't do. With that new window open and everyone healthy, it's like, okay, like the whole dynamic has changed. So like that, actually, I didn't even think about that. Like that could be a lot of potential for a lot of teams.
Ringo, you brought it up at some point in discussion with us. The curse continues. Mr. David Beckham.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, Beckham has done everything in his power to get an MLS team. He finally got the green light. They kicked the ball one game. One game.
Unplug that.
Player one.
Honestly,
Disconnected from the
like David Beckham has to be sitting somewhere right now on the $100 million yacht saying, like, bro, I'm done with MLS, man. It's over. I don't care anymore.
But no,
discussion between him and Matthew McConaughey, like in some VIP box at Austin versus Miami game. That would be an interesting conversation to sit in.
I don't know what you're saying, mate.
All right.
Anybody ever noticed that the gecko in the Geico commercial sounds too much like David Beckham?
I mean,
nah, I ain't never. Nah.
Sweet.
Happy 420, Grego.
Yo, I hope you guys out there weren't passing the Dutchies.
You looked at it like,
There's a little extra something on this.
You know who has been hitting it? At the Liga MX, man. They have decided to get rid of promotion relegation for the next 5 years.
fuck it, man. That thing up, man.
It's like, it's too much work trying to be European. Oh, shit.
Stop doing it.
Can we do that?
Fuck it, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Mexico had a relegation system to begin with, because basically it's like you get relegated for based on your results from 3 years anyway. So it's like you basically had to suck for a hot minute to get relegated. And they see what MLS is doing. They say that, hey, they don't have relegation, but they're over here making money. Let's try to be like them. And I'm like, do that if you want to. You're gonna end up messing yourself up. So
I mean, hey, how? Why? Well, MLS has been around 25 years. It's making money. It's continued to grow and expand. They continue to get people writing checks to join the league. Where is this a bad thing at? Who doesn't like making money?
Because the issue that Mexico has is not so much, the on-field quality. If you could figure out a way to market their game to Mexico and beyond, they would be fine. The issue that they have is just, how do we maximize what we have? Because they have a good thing there. And, whether it's getting relegation or not, that can be debated, but you can't say that they don't have a good product. Just a matter how do we get people going back to games, and then how do we get people watching beyond just the Spanish language markets? Because, like I said, they have a good thing going.
I think also, though, we referenced it in another episode, a big issue within Mexico is that they've kind of built the wall around themselves when it comes to their league. And I think that has stunted a lot of their own growth.
Exactly.
Because a lot of this, a lot of their initiatives and kind of thesis statements that they want to make sure that their national team product has been proven because of their national league, basically. And so their league is heavy, Mexican home-based talent. Not too many foreigners on many of the teams. A lot of the teams actually have those rules set up within those own organizations. It's it hasn't really opened up a diverse game with them. And so then that limits other diverse dollars to come in. Right. So that prevents the stunt of, that prevents you from making that money, whether it be TV deals and, other big time, ad companies or whatever. So I think a lot of the reason why is that they kind of dug themselves in this hole themselves. When you build that wall around yourself, you're going to get stuck within those walls.
And that's another thing that
these walls can talk.
It's a good song.
And that, of course, with this announcement, of course, all the time has been growing towards, okay, Liga MX and MLS might eventually merge. That rumor's kind of been around for a minute anyway, but I think that for what MLS needs and for what Liga MX needs, I think that it's a short-term grab, but there's no long-term benefit. Like, because obviously MLS wants the audience that comes from Liga MX, because like they get numbers, like, you know, whether it's on Unimas, Today, like they get viewers like in the millions, like pretty much like every week. Whereas most MLS games, if they're lucky, they get like 500,000. So there's definitely an obvious desire there, but at the same time, because the Liga MX has been so isolated and kind of, you know, they haven't done a good job as far as reaching out to the English language market here in America, I don't think that crossover appeal is going to be there like they hope. And I mean, they'll get more Spanish language viewers, but everybody else is like, I don't know these loves. I don't know who they are. Like, even the guys that are on the national team, they're like, I don't know who these guys are.
Let's say, you know, a team from, I don't know, Portland.
Mm-hmm.
They go play way down. I don't know, what's the southern club in Mexico?
Toluca? I think they're
Toluca? I think they're geography. I apologize.
Yeah, Club America. They're down in Mexico.
Like, I mean, the logistical nightmare of that travel is. I can't. I mean, there's already an issue with MLS and the complaint of like geography is already.
People from Atlanta don't even want to drive to Orlando. So like,
there's other reasons why we don't want to go to Orlando.
That too.
A lot of it doesn't have to deal with the hour. It's just like it's Orlando. Like,
but it's the
you gotta be Orlando. Rep your city and defend it, please. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't take smoke.
Go ahead, Rashad.
I'll take smoke on that one.
Yeah, just the logistics of traveling and
Tony underscore. There you go. There you go.
I was gonna say just the logistics of the travel. Like you have Canada, you have the United States, you have Mexico. It's already an issue just traveling amongst the states. We just talked about us in Atlanta having an issue going to Orlando. We have a game in Monterey or something.
Monterey.
You gonna buy a ticket?
Monterey.
On Wednesday.
You buying a ticket? On a Wednesday. You buying a ticket, Tony?
I barely go to games here. I barely go to games here in Atlanta.
That's the thing. You have to open up. That's the thing. Like with combining the Super, you're gonna have to open up your time. You're gonna definitely have to open up your wallet. You're gonna have to open up your patience. There's gonna be a lot of bull with just so many things in different ways. And then the leagues, how they're operating, do they change up their protocols and how they operate? So La Liga is not having ProRel for 5 years. Does, you know, if those 5 years are up, does that bring up the conversation of ProRel in the United States? What happens to USL? What happens to our other minor leagues here? What happens to Canadian football? You know what I'm saying? What happens to all of these different channels that we already have?
A lot of pieces they have to fall into place.
Canadian League? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Well, I don't even think they actually started because of Corona.
Hey, who's in that league? Hey, who's in that league?
Yeah. So think about it. You know, it's crazy.
Except for Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver.
Yeah.
Name another city. Name another city.
But no, I definitely think that in order to work.
Wait, there's a show about it.
Scarborough. Does that work?
I'll wait.
Calgary.
There we go.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Let's name an NHL team.
Hamilton, Ottawa's coming in this year. There's another one in the Toronto area, York 9.
Freaking capital, dude. I mean, like,
They had to leave USL first to get in order to get up in the Canadian League.
Hey, promotion, man.
But there's a lot of pieces that have to fall into place, I think, for that to work. I saw an article on Yahoo that kind of tried to lay it out as far as how it couldn't work, basically putting a Super League above MLS and Liga MX and basically taking all the top teams. I'm like, you basically leave those leagues not attractive to get TV, because like who's going to watch MLS for Real Salt Lake and Columbus? Like not too many people. Like, you know, I mean the fan bases are great, but those aren't sexy markets. And like, hey, where's Atlanta? Where's Seattle? Where's LA? Like where they at? So that actually
thumbs down this idea.
Thumbs up or thumbs down this idea?
It's thumbs down. It's a unanimous thumbs down for the audio.
We all agree on something.
I give those titties 2 thumbs down.
Come back. Come back.
It would be cool. Like I said, you know, we always look at it like there's Instagram is trying to sell me like a map. It may be on y'all feed too. It's a map of European football, and it just shows how many clubs and leagues are on top of each other.
I know those algorithms, dude. That means that you are searching a lot of European teams. That means you might have a Euro bias. You've always talked about me and my Euro bias.
Or maybe I was just trying to find something to talk about with you, Tony, because you never have anything to talk about when we talk about MLS.
But
anyway, like I was saying, it's because like Europe has all these countries and leagues on top of each other. You're able to have these super leagues and these inter-country leagues and shit like that. Man, America's just too big, man. It would never happen.
like in most of those countries, football, soccer is really the primary sport there. Anyway, like just imagine if, let's say you take all the teams from every sport around the country and just said, okay, and 3 out of 4 teams in that city played soccer. So like here in Atlanta, you had the Braves, the Falcons, the Hawks, and I'll go ahead and count the Dream and what's the other one, the Swarm. So like three out of those 5 play soccer, and like that culture, if that was here, like there's no way in the world that this shit would.
Listen, this is a tangent, but man, Atlanta with 3 teams.
See Buckhead versus 5 points.
On that road pathway, I mean, was it East Atlanta team that just got formed to go in the USL 2? And then
Silverbacks.
That's just like we didn't go to the burbs yet because she got. But
MCMFC it just got confirmed. I think I saw this that they're going to be starting the NISA. Starting a location here in Atlanta, MCMFC. I mean, there you go, 3 teams right there, bam. Bam. East Atlanta, Amsterdam FC, bam. There you go. There you go.
Silverback.
That shit don't even sound so
Don't forget about 2.
Yeah, Atlanta United.
Don't forget about the 2 side.
Yeah, out there, cut us off.
Facts. Nobody? Anyone?
What's that?
No. That's what's up.
What's that?
Say anybody bringing back the Silverbacks?
Nah, son.
What happened to was it Atlanta SC?
That's what they changed their name.
That's
what the Silverbacks and then went to Atlanta FC. Technically, they're still in existence. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But and they're black owned. But yeah, we gonna hop over here to the European side.
Hey man, actually, I got a dance for y'all. No, it's not Sissy Slide.
No, it's not Sissy Slide.
We get a certain type of money now.
We getting their money.
Good segue.
We getting their money.
If you haven't heard,
I got you.
TK's favorite team.
TK's favorite team
is on its way.
He said, "Don't disrespect me."
So you know my mic broke, man.
Is getting that financial from a certain Middle Eastern group. Basically saying they going to
the whole government
pretty much going to give some funds. They're getting a stimulus package to Newcastle.
They're getting life.
What was it? Over $200 billion. What was it?
The net worth of that ownership group is $260 billion with a B. To put that into some perspective, the group that owns Man City, I think it's like at $9 billion. So you're talking about like a whole lot more money. And, they've already been.
I don't see no financial fair play being a factor at all with this situation. Not at all.
I mean, it's people will feel differently about it, but good for them to be able to get a financial owner. Hopefully, they invest in the club, and Newcastle can restore their former glory by signing big players.
Invest.
And that's the thing, because people don't realize because like the past 10, 15 years, Newcastle's basically been like up and down as far as getting promoted and relegated. So you've never really seen them back in the back in the 90s when your boy Alan Shearer was there.
First started.
First
Newcastle.
Sure.
Was Les Ferdinand there too?
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah. Les Ferdinand was. I mean, Alan Shearer, I remember watching Alan Shearer, and he was hands down one of the premier strikers in the world at the time. And so, like, everything he touched turned to gold, basically. And Newcastle was, a problem. Now they looking like, shit, we got problems,
Yeah.
But they're getting that oil money now, which is different.
Wait till
2023.
Quick sidebar, Tony. Shearer or Henry up front?
Man, it's what do you like, a Lambo or a Ferrari? It's a matter of, I mean, it's your style. It's what style you want.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah.
Me personally, I go Henry, but Shearer, I mean, I gotta give props to him. Shearer was he was a beast back then. So always.
Newcastle's already been hyping up, like, we want to get Pochettino, we want to get Ronaldo.
We have Pochettino. That means you're gonna keep on losing. Yeah.
I
said it.
How about trophies?
Hey man, they're gonna have Jadon Sancho beginning of next year.
No, Santiago.
United is not going to let that happen.
Guaranteed. Going to Newcastle.
Thank you, Chelsea Hayden Ways. Do another podcast, okay? Sancho's coming United, baby.
This what ended up happening. Remember that part in Coming to America where the neighborhood stole Akeem's luggage and everything? They all walk around with the Newcastle. That's what we do, Newcastle. Like, it'd be like around fur coats, go silverware and everything. Like, that's going to be Newcastle upon time in about 6 months.
Did you say 6 months? For
This audio shit shit is difficult.
Walk around looking like new money.
Yeah. But hey man, let's take a break real quick and let's see you guys on the side.
What's going on, culture? I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the middle of this conversation and bring to you a new sponsor that we have for the culture. Doing something for the ladies. We've been stuck in the house due to the coronavirus. The brand Bikini Grand has decided to sponsor the podcast. They love what we're doing. They want to offer something special for the ladies out there. On BikiniGrand.com, check it out, BikiniGrand.com. It's a swimsuit boutique. They're offering unique swimsuit designs, accessories for that summertime poolside vibe. For listeners today to this podcast, we're offering 30% off on your cart if you use offer code FTCUTB. So ladies, I know you cooped in a house, legs probably hairy, you know what I'm saying, nails looking crazy. So as soon as this get over, why not have a bikini that's ready for you to show out at the pool party? Why not have something for the beach? So check out BikiniGrand.com. Once again, use offer code FTCUTB. Save 30% off on your purchase. Let's get back to the show.
Oh man! But before we get back over to the second half of the show, let's really give a shout out to everyone that's already been getting their orders in on the horticulture black and white jersey that just came out last week. Of course, we've already been posting on the socials. We'll keep on posting on the socials, so definitely get your hands on that. Of course, you can get it personalized, keep it blank however you like. Like I've been talking about the past few weeks. We've been working with Clubhouse Athletic. They're a group out of Chicago. They do uniforms, jerseys, all that jazz. Our homies up there, Black Fire, they also have a jersey done through them as well, and they do really good work. And we've been working on this for the better part of a year, so we're glad to finally get this out to you guys. Keep supporting and show your love there. Don't forget, you can still go on to ftcutv.myshopify.com. We still have 15% off on that side as well with the promo code 4stars. So definitely make sure that you get up on that and keep showing show your love. Make sure that you leave a review on iTunes, take a 5-star review, leave comments and say if we get that shit, we'll read it here on the show. So make sure that you do that and keep tell your friends about us, tell your mama about us.
Your mama already know. Mama already know about us.
She know.
Like, don't let them boys in. No. You. Greg, I got a question. I got a question, Greg.
What's up?
Was that the first quarter?
What's up? Yeah.
She came for a second.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I know.
Well aware.
Hey, Bob. Bob?
Hey.
Bob?
Speaking of coming in second,
Where are you going with this one?
Watch where I'm going. Last Dance. Because the debates between LeBron, Mike, you can even throw Kobe in there. Everybody basically fighting for second here because Mike's trying to remind people that hey, he was that dude before the dudes were even born.
Man, it was for me. It was definitely a trip down memory lane because during Mike's era, I was in that age of when I fell in love with basketball, and basketball was my favorite sport at that time. And I was just like most kids. I had hoop dreams and everything. Speaking of hoop dreams, that was one of my favorite movies around that time too. But going back and rewatching that, and it brought back a lot of memories. And it's funny because there were certain parts of the story especially when they started to tell the story of him when he was in Boston, when he dropped the 63 in Game 2 of the Eastern Tournament, and they started playing the background music, LL Cool J, I'm Bad. And what it started bringing up memories to me is back in the day when we was watching the VHS tapes, Come Fly With Me, Superstars, all those tapes of the highlight, they don't do those anymore because you got social media now on YouTube, so there's no need for it. But when you would buy that VHS with Come Fly Me and all Superstars, you saw those highlight packages, and it just brought those memories. So it was cool to see that, but then also to see the behind the scenes of see Scottie Pippen, getting pumped by Charles Oakley, classic. I mean, grown ass men slapping him, and Scottie just had to take it. Really, he's like, "Hey man, stop playing! You play too much. Stop, Charles, you play too much." It was cool to see that, and then seeing other stuff that I never knew. Obviously, I was younger around then, but you didn't really get the gist of what was going on because we just didn't have as much access to athletes as we do now. But back then, to find out that really why he was sitting out during that time during his his foot injury, ankle injury. They were doing the whole load management, which is obviously a big talking point with the NBA now. But back then, that wasn't an issue. But
say, hey, I ain't gonna let y'all fuck up my summer.
Yeah, the Scottie Pippen thing. Yeah, I mean, to see how much of an asshole Scottie Pippen was to Jerry Krause, which was warranted. I mean, Jerry Krause, you saw the genius of him to put everything together, the way he built all that to get to that point. But also, you saw he was also his own worst enemy. I mean, he fucked it up too. And
it's mine. It's my team. It's mine.
I mean, it was the ego. It was the ego. It was.
But here's the part that did y'all start seeing those pictures of Jerry Krause and the boss from Space Jam? And it was yo.
There's some similarities. Yeah.
I thought that's what he was mirrored off of, actually.
I
think it was intended that way in Space Jam.
All the success in the world.
Yeah, but I think everyone kind of has it Last Dance a little backwards. I think this is because Jordan has lived in this kind of mythical ethos of himself for so long, right? I think he's not, if he's not a producer of it, he's kind of had to sign off on everything. So I think this is going to actually show that because of episodes 3 and 4 come out this weekend, right? And I think that's actually going to start showing how his teammates actually lifted him up to become the great player that he is now. So it's actually going to show a new light of Jordan than what we all have had for him. That's what I think. I think the reason why they showed why he's such a bad man now on the first 2 episodes, you would think like a normal documentary would show like young Jordan, college Jordan.
They put into that.
Well, yeah, they were bouncing back and forth, but I think it's going to tell a deeper story. Last Dance, you got to think of the title, man. There's more to it than just Jordan, man.
Can I get a hug too? Yo. You look like you about to shake Scott ProRel on that. Like, bitch.
No, and then also when you talk about Ron Harper, you're thinking about it, like this generation doesn't know. Like Ron Harper was a G before he came to Chicago. Ron Harper was a beast when he came from the Cavs, and he has stint with the Clippers as well too.
I'm just ready to see. Episode 3.
I think it's 4. Yeah, it's episode 4 that I think is going to be.
Yeah, because they covered like Rodman. Of course, they covered Rodman. That's right into the Pistons stories. So Pistons stories. So
I mean, that was God. Like it was crazy remembering how scared the Bulls were of the Pistons at the time, and everybody was scared of them. Because the business, there's a reason why they got the name Bad Boys. If you haven't seen that 30 for 30 on them,
great 30 for 30.
Yeah, it's a good 30 for 30. Good 30 for 30 on the Bad Boys.
It's one of those cases where like iron sharpens iron, like because basically you had the Celtics and Lakers, and then the Pistons got sharpened by the Celtics, and then as a result, the Bulls got sharpened by the Pistons. So, like I said, that whole process, the 80s definitely shaped a lot of people's opinions as far as like how we see the game today. Like you see it all the time as far as like how people got beat up back then. It's like that wasn't even a foul back then. I'm like, hey, it should have been.
Right.
Have you heard all those? It's when we talk about conspiracy theories, especially a lot now with what's going on with COVID-19 and stuff. Have you heard all the conspiracies about like why this is getting released now and everything? Have you heard conspiracies?
Yeah.
I love it.
Like there's the conspiracies I've heard of like the reason why they release it now is that so Jordan, his own ego could feel like he's more relevant to the argument and kind of squash the whole debate of who's better between him and LeBron. Then there's also the crazy conspiracy of like, well, after Kobe passing, they released it earlier too, so people wouldn't want to feel like Jordan's name is left out in the running of the greatest of all time because of all the respect that was given to Kobe when he passed. Like, it's crazy, all the conspiracies as far as like.
I've heard them, but at the same time, one, Kobe's in that argument, I'm sorry to say. But no, I think that for the type of impact that Jordan had, whether it's, on the court, within the culture, within fashion, even with fucking the Space Jam, like his fingerprints are everywhere. And so there's nobody that I can really think of that really had that overall impact to everything like Mike did. You could say like other players had like different impacts. You could say Kareem, had that social impact that Mike never had. You could say that you could say about Magic and Bird. Without them two, the NBA is pretty much dead. So like everyone has like their own argument. Of course, even LeBron and Kobe for where they're taking the game now. Whereas as far as the money with the league and how players are going about taking advantage of basically their brands. But I think comprehensively, Mike has. There's nobody that can say they basically hit everything.
Well, but for me, my thing is this: is like I'm not buying stock in the whole like who's better in this now, whatever. I'm looking at the people like definitely there's people who were the best at their time, and the eras that they played in, they're playing within the rules of the game that they had at the time. And so if you go back eons ago, actually it's not eons ago. People forget like. The 3-point line wasn't instituted until recent compared to, how the game developed. And so, a lot of players would have had a whole different stat line if there was a 3-point line. So there's those arguments that be thrown into a lot of things. It was cool to see. Actually, I got all the trivia questions right.
I wonder if someone's actually broken it down to say like based on like where you were shooting that in the court, like would you have had more points if you if the 3-point line had been there? That I wonder if somebody's actually done that.
That would have changed the whole approach to the game because the way they played the game without the 3-line changed. The 3-line evolved to change the way you play the game. So you stretch. Offenses are stretch more. The sets that you can run are different. So I think it would have changed a lot of stats. And just the whole approach to the game.
I think also and going back to the original statement, it just matters of who took advantage of their opportunities that they had in front of them. Obviously Jordan did to a multitude of levels. And I think that, whether it was his business acumen, was it, his social charm that he had, the fact that, he was beloved across the world. Yeah, he took advantage of many of those things. But then you look back at what Bill Russell did. Man's got more rings than, I got toes. You know what I'm saying? The dude, he had a perfect scenario too. So his, name gets brought into Kareem, and it's all these people who were the best at the time. For me, I'm just like, you can't take that away, and it's not like for like because you can't compare them because they played at different times with different rules. And when I say different rules, you're talking about when, if you look at other players when they didn't have black people playing, you know what I'm saying? Or they had limited numbers of black people. That's another issue. So there's no like-for-like comparison. I think we all need to put that to say who's better, LeBron, Jordan, if Kobe's in that, if Kareem is in that. Just respect what they did to the game, and then also acknowledge what they did off the court too. And like you said, Grego, like Kareem, hell of a man off the court too. Still is. How old is Kareem? He's like 137 now.
Gotta say that.
Pick it up in
But no, listeners, let us know what you thought about the series. What are you looking forward to? I think also like
73.
He's 73. Thanks, Snapper. Quality dropping. Let us know what you think about the series of this Last Dance. And I would also be interested in what you would see on the soccer version of this. What's the Last Dance that you would like to see story-wise to be told documentary form?
Ringo.
What's up, brother?
Yo, you didn't tell me that you had a show on Netflix, man. You didn't tell me Black as Fuck was about you.
Yeah, man. I try to stay humble. My kid wanted to do a documentary about her life, so decided to put it on the air. But Black, it's okay. I'm not a big fan of the show. I prefer Blackish over Black as Fuck.
It's pretty much the same show. It's just that you can cut.
It is. It's just that one of them has a budget to get real actors, and the other one is just like a pet project.
Yeah, actually, I read that exact statement like in a review. I was like, because the main star of the show is actually the creator of Blackish, and it's like I guess he just wanted to be on TV, and that's what we got. So, like I said, it's not bad. Actually, one episode of the Juneteenth episode, like I said, that's what it hit me. I was like, yo, that's Ringo.
But why drop it now?
Timing is bad.
The timing is
why drop it now?
You get put on Netflix. You get put on that Netflix calendar. So unfortunately, this is where the dice rolled for them.
But if they had been a movie, they would have got pushed back. Because I think Sony like pushed like all their releases out to like next year. Like Netflix should have said, you know what, this ain't the best time for this.
Ringo, you're a parent. Did you do the Trolls World Tour? Did you view that yet?
Oh my God, bro. See, I got sons, so you know what I mean. Like when my daughter gets older, I might watch that. Like my sons, like we've watched like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Like
I've watched that 100 times, dude.
I don't complain. It's great.
Actually, Anderson .Paak is in it. I was surprised to see Anderson .Paak in it.
Yeah.
What's the name? Keenan is in it as well too from Saturday Night Live or whatever.
Want to get into some listener questions? There, a couple, right?
I refreshed my beverage.
Kyle, homie from Featherstone, from English up in Madison, he asked, like the Netflix series "Settle Until I Die," what clubs would you also like to see in that type of series scenario? It could be European, U.S., doesn't matter.
Rashad, which ones would you like to see?
I want to see Man City in a couple of years. See where.
You added a couple of years part.
You added a couple of years part.
I know what you're trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say.
Remember when we were good? Remember when we had...
So yeah, I said what I said because I wait for this one. I want to set up for the future. So I wait for that.
I would like to see like Blackburn Rovers. Like I mean, they were like champions of England, great team. Like now, like normal soccer fans don't even really know who they are.
I still love their logo. I still love their logo. I mean, that crest with the flower, the rose.
Yeah, it's awesome. That was one of before I actually even got into soccer for real. I remember seeing Blackburn Rovers nail you at the State Department because what is it? Our former Secretary of State, first woman Secretary of State. I want to say Albright. I feel like that's her name.
Albright. Madeleine Albright.
Yeah, I think that's her name. She was gifted a pair of keeper gloves and a kit when she went over there for a diplomatic retreat. So it was like that's kind of, and I was like, this is cool. And then that's when I learned about it was a soccer team and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but just their story would be very interesting to see. Sunderland until I die.
The one I got in mind is actually AC Milan, because of course, if you're a recent soccer fan, you know that AC Milan was like that club, especially in the last decade. They won 2 Champions Leagues last decade. They went to 3 Champions League finals. They last won the Serie A in 2011.
Soccer, they're like the Manchester United of old. It's like the club that everybody wanted to go play at. The club that all had the money.
They had the money, but of course, people don't remember. Italy used to be that spot. Before racism took over.
Before did it not
They just finally got caught.
3 hours before racism, Corona, and Ronaldo.
You need to make that a graphic. Racism,
Ronaldo. Didn't know that as much when Ronaldo was that dude up at Inter and then later on AC Milan. But yeah, AC Milan when they fell, when the recession hit back 10 years ago, it hit them hard, and they haven't basically gotten back to their place of prominence since. They've been in and out of. They've made maybe 1 Champions League in the past 5 years, and they're basically at best most cases Premier League, most cases league.
That's more than Pep the last 5. Yeah, it's good. It's quick. What did they?
Sorry, what did Pep not win?
No, I think for me, if I were to see a series, and I guess it's probably more the All or Nothing series, but I really would like to see a series done at Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone as a coach, he's crazy. You got Diego Costa, he's a crazy ass player. I mean, and the ups and downs of them in Spain, well, not necessarily too many downs, but still, like they're you know.
It's a work. It would be interesting because it would be interesting
because that's what I'm saying. They're the working, team. But
so to actually get out there in the street, I think Copa 90. I hate like plugging other platforms because they don't plug us. But I think they actually have.
Never heard of them.
It's a small YouTube channel. They did a documentary about AC Milan. I think.
Are they on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Are they on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Here's another one from Antonio Henry. He's actually a good homie. I think he's actually moving down here pretty soon. But what's popping with the pickup and organized black footy scene? You don't have to spray it out on the net if it's low key, but just need to know if it exists.
Well, there's definitely black soccer being played in Atlanta. There's the Caribbean League, which is happening in Stoneman, Wade Walker Park. That's a very competitive league. I used to play in it a lot. So I started. When I say it's competitive, let's just say I left the game with a concussion and cracked ribs. So, I mean, it's competitive.
That explains why you are. That explains why you are the way you are.
Bro, 4 concussions. 4. Yeah. After I die, I'm donating my brain. Just know my brain is getting donated. But
Art Antonio Brown.
But also on the pickup side, like, Piedmont Park, they have a bunch of brothers that are out there. There's actually my brother's line brother. He does some pickup out there on the weekends. And there's a couple of spaces here and there. But it's a matter of if the person wants to do a league or pickup. So, pickup, I would go to Piedmont. If you're trying to do a league, Caribbean League out of Stone Mountain. And then I also got to plug, side of the streets, we got a couple fields where they do adult leagues.
There's a couple other groups around the metro area, like Kennesaw, Gwinnett County, Lawrenceville. They have people that come together, play a couple matches here and there,
We need
that you just said.
Yeah, so there's soccer all over Atlanta. There's over 30 leagues. So when you get down here, man, you just get online, you'll find it.
Yeah, hit us up when you get in. But one more question from Drew Wagner. With the rumors of MLS and Liga MX merging, what will be the new name of the Super League?
America's League Super? Super League Americas?
Are you auto-tuned?
No clue what you're talking about.
We gonna get TK a new mic, y'all. It's all good. We're learning as we going. I think it needs to have like a Latin, like American, like fusion. Like it needs to be like a taco but a burger.
Oh, you're about to get racist now. His comment in 5. Comment in 5. 3.
The following message is not.
La Liga Major Premiere. The Major Premiere La Liga. There it is. Boom. Pay me.
La Liga de America, maybe. I don't know. Something simple. Something light.
But then I reversed it. Like that's called a double reach around reverse racism.
What about La Trampa?
La Trampa?
The trap.
I'm waiting for somebody to style one day.
That's all that sounds like.
Remember the day when someone's just like, fuck it, we just call it the league. There you go.
Oh, the league? How do you say? Hey, Greg, how do you say the league in Spanish?
Liga.
Wait, how do you say like the major league in Spanish?
No, it's like that actually hits someone else.
Is it La Liga Mejor?
Liga Mejor.
La Mejor.
La Mejor. Okay.
Wait. What was yours?
take Rashad's idea and just give it a cute little nickname, La Mejor.
La Mejor.
Here we go. So, hey, listeners, if drop a review and put your fantasy name for the Super American League, so Tony can hate it more because it's not European enough. So it needs to be like Bundes.
Time out.
Look
at IG. Look at his IG. Cool highlights.
So, hey, listeners, hit us up on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube. Put a review. In your review, write what your name would be for. Give us 5 stars or a thumbs up, and let us know what your name for the league that Tony would hate would be called.
Or on YouTube as well. Let's wrap this up with 2 up, 2 down. What you got, Rashad?
My up would be I don't know why I'm not ready for this, but I'm alive, corona free. That's I guess we're here another week recording.
You guess you're
I'm
alive.
saying the kit's available. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of work with that. Thanks to everybody that was involved with that. We finally got it off the ground. Thanks to the guys, the team, and everybody. I don't really have it down. I'm just staying positive and looking up. You feel me?
That's it. Only up from here, baby.
Big teddy bear, you. Big teddy bear, you.
Whoa, pause. Just kidding. To our fans of the world.
Woo!
Hey, if you're looking at the video right now, Greg is holding up the Culture Away kit, where Culture goes to play kit. You know what I mean? So you can pick it up on our website.
Clubhouse Athletic.
My bad. You can pick it up at Clubhouse Athletic while supplies last. It's a limited, rare run. If y'all thought the Nigerian kit was rare, like this Culture kit gonna be more rare than Nigerian kit. All right? Yeah, man. So I guess I'll go next.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my down is I want to shout out to the xenophobia that's going on right now in China towards Kenyans, Nigerians, a lot of other Africans that are residents of the Democratic Republic of China.
Africa, anywhere, like, why y'all hating? Like, y'all immigrating over to Africa, but y'all like the ones that are there in your country. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because you really don't hear too much racism from, like, Chinese people to Africans. I'm not talking about here in America. I'm talking about China and Africa. You don't hear too much of it. So to actually see that, and like the country of Kenya is actually like having to charter boats and flights to actually get their citizens out of the country because they're like at death threats and things like that. So it's messed up. China, man, chill out. And I'll have 2 ups. You know, I love music. So my first up is it's not really an up. But it's we're celebrating the anniversary of Prince passing. Prince passed a year ago today, or this week. So Prince passing, but like even though he's passed, like you still hear his music. Like you still have people like just still living and embracing what Prince gave us on this world. I mean, he was a phenomenal artist. And like for you younger listeners, if you haven't taken the time out to check out his discography, man, check it out. Prince makes amazing music for every situation. All your favorite artists have sampled something of his, have done something, have mirrored something of theirs to his music. So check them out. My last up, and I'll pass the mic. I want to shout out to my boy Division, DVSN. OVO Product dropped his second album. It's Muse. It's amazing. Like if you love R&B music, if you want to hear something that's gonna like get the mood right, to get your girl right, like to get your girl back. Like he's making that type of music. Straight out of Toronto. Check it out wherever you get your music at.
Coach.
All right. So I'm working on myself. You know, quarantine has me, cleansing. I'm juicing now. I feel like I'm being positive and everything. No, yeah.
Nah, man. I'm all for black men taking care of themselves more. Go ahead,
down
brother.
As I down this beer.
I tried to get you.
Oh, so this week, normally we try to do 2 up, 2 down. I'm doing 1 down, 3 ups. Start with the down, get the down out the way. One of my mentors who hired me for my first job out of college and mentored me when I was in sales. That was a long time ago. Passed away this past week. Young, only 50 or so years old. Good guy. Always kept in contact with my daughter, watching her progression and everything like that. And so, hate to see him move on to the field of reeds. It's sad.
Yeah. Hey, so, sorry for your loss.
Shouts out to Chris Renner. He was just a good soul. Always made people laugh. Always was looking to, make sure people were giving their best in a positive manner.
But he got a good background.
Appreciate that, TK, for the RIP. But now let's go into the positive. Positive, we talked about it earlier. Last Dance, that coming out. That is, a large part of my childhood was being a Jordan fan, and basketball was a big part of my life before soccer, actually. And so to see that, it brought up a lot of childhood memories. And when things were easy, when it was all so simple, baby.
Not one day in the world.
You know what I'm saying? But it brought those good memories. It was good to see the behind the scenes type of action between the Bulls and all the other competitors they had. So that was a positive. I can't, I'm like, ESPN, Netflix, can we get them all released at once? You got me waiting until next weekend. I'm getting tired. It's like
they could do it.
They could do it. So give me what I want. Give me what I need. I need this Last Dance. I need to see that Pistons drama. So excited about the Last Dance. That was great. Also this past week, organization I work with, Soccer Streets. Obviously things are tough right now with COVID, but did some volunteering last week for Westside Future Funds, Westside of Atlanta, making sure residents have access to food. Working with Atlanta Food Bank. Did some bagging, but the thing about it, I had my daughter out there with me as well, and cool to see her dive in and just help, and just seeing the kindness of her heart. She was like, no, I want to help. And now my daughter's only 5 years old, so it was beautiful to see that. I didn't have to really I coached her about what we were doing and everything like that, but to see her just naturally want to help. So that made me feel good as a parent, of course. And then also during this tough time with Soccer in the Streets, we are doing these at-home homework assignments and projects with kids in our program. Just stay connected, help them engage, make sure that we're making sure that the kids and the families are okay and everything. And each week they have a new homework assignment that they do. And the cool story that I heard while talking to a mom last week was that she thanked us for doing this program because she's a single mom and she has 2 kids. And the fact that her 10-year-old son is able to have each week a phone call conversation with positive Black male role models. She can't provide that aspect as a parent. And she said the fact that we're doing that, it speaks volumes, and the fact that it's just the impact on her son is on a multitude of levels. And to hear her say that, if it's just that one kid, I'm done. So that's all I did. So
makes it worth it, man.
Yep.
You good, TK? Shout out to TK for the backgrounds and nothing else this week. But I'll wrap this up with my 2 up down. First down, get that shit out the way is Soccer doing U.S. soccer shit as always. They getting a loan out for impact of coronavirus. Actually, of course, we talked about this back in January with Mickey Turner. With all these lawsuits, they're actually like that surplus that everybody was talking about a couple years ago. It's like kind of like
140 mil. They were bragging
Mr.
about.
Galati was
Mr. Galati was
40 mil and
bragging about 140 mil in their coffers. His exact words.
And now it's getting close to 40 million. So it's like that money's burning. All the lawsuits are catching up, and so now they're like, yeah, we need some money. Now, technically, they're a nonprofit. They fall within the parameters as far as getting a loan, but it's like, yo, if y'all was doing right in the first place, y'all wouldn't be here. So, yeah.
Yo, Kane, you open the roof.
With the clutch assist.
Open the roof.
Kane, open the roof. You got a halo on him, man. Look at him.
But
and then we got to let that Rona breathe at some point, you know?
It's actually transmitted by air.
Oh, no. It's actually transmitted by droplets. We gotta be responsible with our platform.
Dr. Ringo, our president.
Go ahead, Greg. Finish up, man. We're going over.
We're back.
But the second one, and we didn't really go into it that much this week, is actually Tony's going to be on IG Live this week talking about with Nicole Hercules. She's with the United Soccer Coaches Association, and they talk about the U.S. Soccer Youth Development Academy shutting down, basically in favor of MLS elite system.
And we got to let that Rona breathe at some
Tony
point.
and we talk about that this Friday night, so be on the lookout for that. We really go into it. I wanted to save all that conversation for them on Instagram, so be on the lookout for that. My up, like I said, it's besides what's happening here in Georgia, I do think things are improving. But just, continue to be smart out here. Don't, just because some governors want to, tell you it's cool, be safe out here in the streets. So, nothing else, keep, stay positive, stay hopeful, but also be smart with that shit.
Wrap it up, man. Wrap it up. Put you out these COVID streets.
Wrap yourself up.
That shit up.
But yeah, and of course, April 22nd, as always, here's the U-Moms, been 8 years. So yeah, make sure that you take care, check over your loved ones, make sure they're doing all right. But I think that's all we really got for you. Shout out to TK for the backgrounds, even though this mic's been all jacked up.
Y'all can hear me, right?
Oh,
shit. All right, TK, go ahead and drop your ups. Right now.
Drop your bars, son. Let's get your screen.
So we finish on the up. I'm going to start with the downs real fast. Just to put this all in perspective with the COVID-19 and all this going on. The population of Australia is 25 million. We are currently at 22 million unemployed claims in the United States of America. Down. All right, my next down is going to be Newcastle United. Hey man, hey, corrupted, you're corrupt. You're killing people. You're committing war crimes and humanity crimes. Like you got to own up to that shit. So like, it's really a rock and a hard place for the people, the fans, the supporters of Newcastle. I do wish that they returned to their glory days, but I wish that it was with a more responsible, better party. Because right now, who knows if they're gonna even pass their survey with the FA and all that to even be granted, even though they put down a deposit. So we'll see how that ends. I wish the best for them. My first up is Eden Hazard. Says he's having a hard time trying to not go into his pantry. And I know what that feels like. We're stuck at home these days. And my last up is going to be shout out to Song of Tottenham Hotspurs. This is probably the only time I will give praise to Tottenham, but he recently enlisted to fulfill his military service with South Korea. As you know, during the World Cup, they did not win, so he has to fulfill his service. And I just thought it was an honorable thing to do, considering the times where he could, easily contract COVID-19, and he chose to go do that. So that's honorable of that man. And
Also shout out to Brighton Hove and Albion for basically extending their stadium out to testing up in England. I'm surprised a lot more teams haven't thought about that, whether it be here or abroad. But shout out to them for that. But yeah, of course, let us know what you guys think on each show, whether it's on Spotify, Anchor, iTunes. Leave your reviews, leave your comments, let us know what's good. Of course, now that we're on YouTube, make sure that you hit us up on there. You guys can see our bright and shiny faces and all that shit.
Like and subscribe and do all those things.
Yeah. All the things.
Man. Thumbs up and subscribe, man.
Yeah.
But yes, hit us up on social FTC.
You
I like that. I'll work with that one. But yes, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're kind of on there, but kind of not. We're working it out. But 75% of the videos on there. Of course, keep supporting us with the Coach United jersey on Clubhouse Athletic. Again, available now for pre-orders, so make sure that you get us for that. But yeah, man, as always, stay safe in these streets, stay smart in these streets. No matter what the talk is to say, take care of you and the people that you love. But yeah, for Ringo, for Coach, for Shy, for TK, it's Grego, Coach is real, Coach everywhere. We will see y'all soon. Yeah.
Man, we gotta create like a